Hello.
Hey, he's just starting the stream. Let him.
Stream.
Oh, hello. Sorry, November, your mic is a little bit blown out.
Oh, sorry about that.
No worries. Okay, so first of all, welcome to the voice part of the stream as well, from hopping from the other side. Um, and let's see if I can remember what I was doing yesterday. I think it was starting launch complex. Yeah, and then building that new sounding rocket. See if there's anything else that I need to be doing. Oh yeah, is this a? Okay, yeah, those are globals. Good. I forgot whether that was per save or global. Okay. Um. Right. So I think we just wait. Oh, I do. Sorry, Max, I lied. I do have one more of these launches, so you can still poke fun at it.
No worries.
All right, we've got. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Was look at leaders because we now have access to leaders, but we're about to get access to many of these folks over here as well, and I think I want the chief designer version of Glishko instead. How?
Hold yourself to Soviet leaders for this playthrough.
I'm thinking about whether I'm going to hold myself to Soviet leaders only or just maybe use everybody.
Okay.
Like, I feel like the engine side, like that, we have enough balance data on that it doesn't really matter what I do there, and that's more for variety and getting another test case. For leaders, I feel like just getting a sense of leaders at all is going to be fairly useful at this point. Far away are we from that? 136 days. Do I want 136 days with no leader? Launch complex efficiency gain is the relevant one. More funds. Lower salary costs. All right, that seems strong. Although having 20% less time and funding is pretty bad. Don't care about contracts at all because we're not flying a contract for a bit. And then more science, but less funding. All right, nobody is really super compelling there, so I think I'll just wait the 100 days and we'll be fine. Only interesting thing would be the extra science, but I don't think we need extra science. Okay, we'll do a night launch.
That extra science impacts free hires or not?
That's an interesting question. It should, because I think that's handled by just KCT polling post science edition what the delta between the stored value and the new value is, so it should. But I don't know that for a fact because strategies are weird. Yeah, that reminds me. I remember we were talking at one point about like maybe there was something else to do.
Squirrel is saying that the stream can't hear me speak, so I guess
That's
my voice is not getting piped through to. I imagine you haven't changed your setup at all.
no, I haven't changed my setup at all. Oh, I think oh, maybe I did. I upgraded OBS. That was a mistake.
That would do it.
Okay, sorry folks, give me a minute while I sort this out. So,
go ahead.
Folks. Oh, it's just the volume. Try shouting, Max. We'll see if they hear you then.
I'd pull your headphones away.
Can you hear me? Are you there?
Let's check.
Okay, we'll see if folks heard either Max or November. Okay, so let me try to boost Discord's output volume then, I guess.
Get a louder for you too. I imagine you're not having trouble hearing us.
Not really, but I could stand with it a little louder.
I mean, you could also look at OBS to see if the setting there for that channel's volume is low.
Fair. Yes, I could check. Let me. Yeah, I'll just add some gain to desktop audio, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, it doesn't blow out the.
Where will be our test bed.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if this is any better.
Okay, Squirrel, can you hear me? I'm speaking at a normal volume now. Not typing, but there may just be delay.
Yeah, there's stream delay. Okay. Try now.
Testing, testing, testing. Squirrel, can you hear anything?
Let's check.
He's also not replying to my question in chat, so maybe he just wandered off.
Also plausible.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. November, I think you're loud enough that folks should be able to hear. Max is still low, but I just bumped in Discord.
Okay, Squirrel Patrol. Guess you can hear me. Okay, I'm going to leave that to you. Do you want me to turn it down so that I don't accidentally make the same change at the same time?
Yeah, let's try. 2/3 for you. I feel like a DJ.
Yeah.
Okay, and full doubling for maximal. Okay, that
Okay.
will.
Am I
Yeah,
still good? Good.
you're better now. All right, I think so. We'll see how loud it gets when I launch the rocket. Hopefully, it doesn't blow out everyone's ears on that score. Yeah, that wasn't too bad, I don't think. Okay, cool. I think we've solved it. Thanks, folks.
Great. Oh, I caught a piece of your stream from last time, and I was going to ask you, does it work now if you bump up slightly the volume of your low weight propellants to give you a better chance at a better variance roll? For instance, like in your first launch, you were low on pressure was the thing that got to the lowest on your launch, but pressure is very light. So
Oh, that's smart. Yeah, that's smart.
like, I mean, you had great rolls there, so no issues regardless. But
Yeah.
for instance, you had like 5
Yeah,
pairs.
but there's you're right that it probably, on balance, it is probably smart to overcommit on pressurant because it's light enough that you're in a much worse situation if you run out of it first.
Okay.
This does somewhat seem like more optimization than is really should be necessary.
I mean,
it's,
I will never do it, but Maximal has his name for a reason.
Yeah.
my nickname has absolutely nothing to do with that, but I guess it works.
I mean, like, my first interaction with you was, I think, when you posted some mission report in an early version of RP-0 of like you were orbiting the moon by 1952 or something.
Yeah, yeah. My I think it was a Bean Counter space program.
Oh, yes. Yes, I think it was, because I somehow I just saw this like a day or two ago. I still had the Google Doc of that. I didn't know who it was from. So apparently it was from you.
That was me, where an accountant was min-maxing the space program.
Price Waterhouse Kerman. Yeah, I still can't get over the fact that like that was what got you into KSP.
Well, I mean, RP-1 really got me into KSP.
Yeah, no, I mean that's what I mean. Like that being like the RP-01 whatever set of.
Well, yeah, I mean, like RP-1 was. I don't know if I would have stuck with KSP if I just played vanilla, but RP-1 was so interesting as a suite of game mechanics that like I just stuck with that for ages. Same reason I'm sticking with very heavily modded Factorio. And then, but yeah, it was surprising that it ended up with me working on it. That was.
I mean, it was surprising that it ended up with me working on it. So there's that.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm not sure if there's any games that I played that I have not at some point thought I should proofread for them.
I mean, goodness knows they need it.
Yeah.
They promoted Jim to be writer, and well deserved. So hopefully that end is gonna go well.
Remind me the screen name there?
Just Jim?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's vaguely familiar. I think mostly after my time, but
He was mostly on QA, but I think he got hired at Squad because he wrote up some massive fanfic of KSP.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes, I remember that. I remember that now. Yeah, no, if anybody should be a writer, that is well deserved.
Yep.
Yeah, it's sort of ironic. I actually found that Google Doc because for some reason, so I was reading some SF novels, and that reminded me, like, made me want to go back and look at some of like the BattleTech space combat fanfic I'd written back at the start of COVID. So I was going
Okay.
through my Google Docs, and it was like, wait, what is this Bean Counter Space Program thing?
I'm curious what your Mech Warrior fanfic is like now.
Like there's a bunch of different stuff broadly set in a there's a so I can't take credit for the point of departure here. This was something that Craig came up with back on the old Sarna.net forums, where so in the Comstar source book, there's mention of like a bunch of terrorist attacks on Terra in like the 2860s or so, and dissatisfaction, and then Rom does a false flag one, and that kind of makes everybody chill out. And the point of departure is basically if people learn that it's Rom that did it. So like my stuff is about like a liberation of Terra from Comstar and how all that shakes out, and then Terra being principally a space power, that is obviously near and dear to my heart. And some stuff on that. I think I mostly posted it on the official CBT forums and on Space Battles.
Cool. Maybe you can link me sometime.
Yeah.
Or maybe I can just Google Nathan Kell on Space Battles.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it was also like the other thing I was working on was Rita's, which I think I showed you the spreadsheet of as a fellow spreadsheet appreciator. Like redoing the aerospace design rules. And then like a Google Sheets-based spreadsheet to mostly automate all of that, which is like, I should have just written it in C# or something, but at that point I was baked in. Okay, so there's a nice more bit of science. But yeah, I'll tell you that stuff over. There's a good bit more science. Yeah, ironically, the SF novels I was reading that reminded me of this were novels from Frank Chadwick, who did like Space 1889 and Traveler and stuff, but is like also a novelist. And it was recommended from a tweet from Winch from Atomic Rockets. I follow because there's a shout out to that and to Ken Burnside in the acknowledgments on it, because like the ships actually have radiators and they're like mostly realistic. So I was like, all right, I'll read this, and then it reminded me of the space combat stuff.
I found it. No Truce with Kings.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to see whether I actually posted everything in my Google Docs. Oh, hey, Al. Yeah, I'm a changed man. I now exist during normal waking hours, and I don't exist during non-normal non-waking hours. It's weird. Yeah, turns out living with somebody who has to wake up at like 6 a.m. to do remote meetings with engineers in India makes a difference in terms of my sleep schedule. Not that I wake up in time for those, but she goes to bed early enough that I don't really want to stay up and make a deal of things. All right. Let's see. So I could save up science, or I could, I guess, queue up that, which gives me another RD100 upgrade. Another one of those upgrades. Sure, why not? I can always cancel it later. Okay, another month we're going to warp. Our funding is, what is our budget actually? Net positive of the month. That's cool. Rep is not so great because we're not going to have a way to get more rep for a bit. I am going to take this contract though, because we're going to do this. All right, site 2 is completed. Now I have to figure out what launch complex historic to set it up with. I guess we'll do LC3. Okay. Also, wait a minute, I thought this had all the BDB science parts. I guess there isn't a BDB science part for that?
For which?
The film camera? Oh, figure it out.
I've never seen an alternate model for that film camera.
Yeah, I've always seen that model as well.
Yeah, okay, maybe. Yeah, I think Kirk did the conversion, but I think that conversion was probably for later science parts. It'd be real nice if we could actually have good models for an early camera and an early biological sample, and not just whatever we got from SXT and restock that are totally unrelated. Although I have to admit, the fact that we use this for the film camera is not the worst, given that it looks kind of like maybe it could be a camera, especially since you can. Oh, the other model you could like open the doors and stuff.
Yeah.
But this one doesn't seem to have opening doors.
But a cylindrical payload.
Yeah, it's
could be virtually anything.
Yeah, Al, I'm happy to take whatever you produce, whether it is models or whether it is code or whatever else, because all of it is good. Like that XLR11 was freaking awesome.
Oh, you did that? That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like, there was a sudden Cobalt appearance in the Discord saying, wow, that actually looks really good. Okay. Oh, right, there's a bug with utilization on this. Or at least it was being reported that there was a bug about utilization, which I don't seem to be suffering, which is nice. So that's cool. Oh no, wait. That's the... No, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Where's the avionics utilization? Avionics utilization 0. Yeah, that is the bug. Okay. Well, whatever. All right, let's go ahead and tool.
In programs and launch complexes, would you say it makes more sense to build rocket ahead of time or to not build rockets until you need them, as far as launch vehicle capacity?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand the first part of that.
If you're, as far as this is new player advice, should you try to build rockets with more capability than you currently have contracts offered to require? Should that be done ahead of time, or should you just wait until you absolutely need it?
If you're a new player, you should be waiting till you need it. You should be looking at what you're trying to build for and then kind of building to that. Only people who have some experience should be like trying to predict what they'll need in the future, because you can easily like overbuild that way and then
Yeah, I think that particularly goes with the fact that there's a bunch of funding curves. Like even normal funding curves ramp up over time. So if you're trying to bite off more than you need early on, you're probably doing that at a time when your funding curve is not providing as much as it otherwise would be. So there's even more reason to delay bigger expenses until later. Now, if you think you can get away with only one launch complex and one launch vehicle set of tooling instead of two different sets, like sure, but a lot of that estimation, like Max is saying, comes from having done a lot of this stuff more than once or more than 20 times, and it's hard to estimate early on and easy to trap yourself. Like generally there's going to be enough funding where if you build to the requested capabilities, then you probably will get enough engine upgrades and ability to stretch tanks later that you can eke out the next stuff. Or if you can't, or like add a different upper stage that's higher performance. And if you can't, then it's probably time to have a completely different launch vehicle anyway, rather than having started with a bigger one.
All right, thank you. I will edit the article.
Did we used to recommend like overbuilding or something?
No, I was feeling like my personal practice is to try and plan ahead, but I was wondering if it's actually a good idea or not.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea if you can pull it off. It's just the newer player you are, the less likely you are to pull it off, the more likely it is to bite you.
Yeah, I mean, you should plan ahead as far as here's the contracts that I see available, and I'm going to plan to build for those, but not like try and dig into what contracts are coming after that or 2 steps down the line. That's more speedrunner territory.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah. That's some pretty pricey tooling. But there we have it. Okay, we'll get a couple of those.
Another factor, though, is in early days, your LV size is kind of going to be limited by your engine selection. There aren't really that many options for different categories of vehicles, so you're just mostly going to build around the engines that you pick anyway. Like I think a recommendation for a new player is not to if you're using an RD-100 or something like that, like build the rocket that fully utilizes the RD-100.
Yeah, and flip side of that being particularly early on booster. So unless you're doing something like an Atlas or an R7, boosters are usually a trap. Because they're going to make your launch vehicle way less reliable. Because you're not really going to have engine out capability early on. So if you are doing 4 dice rolls instead of 1, then or 5 instead of 1, then things get bad.
Marsh, it's a little different with PLC. You're not looking, like you're not. The old way to play RP1 was to try and get to the next milestone as fast as possible. So yeah, you were kind of like either you were speedrunning where you were down to the wire until you hit that milestone and then you got the big lump of cash to spend, or you were saving cash and just letting it pile up. But with PLC, because you're working against a budget, you can redline the budget, yeah, or you can let it, give yourself some margin, but it's more, you should be looking more at like, what's my expenditure versus gain versus the old system of just like hitting milestones.
All right, so I dismantled my first launch complex because I don't need it anymore, which is maybe a sign that I should have just bit the bullet and built this, but man, that would have been a slow start before I was doing anything. So now I have to figure out how many engineers it makes sense to hire before I start running low on cash. All right, I'm still netting 25K for the year, so I guess I can just max it out. Yep, and that still gives me 16K for the year. Okay, although we better not have to do any unlocks anytime soon. Plus side, this is now rather faster to build. That comes online in 28 days, then we can get a leader. It's a good thing hiring leaders rather than hiring staff doesn't cost any money. Huh? We did research basic rocketry. Oh, basic rocketry, not post-war rocketry. My original version of that was post-war rocketry. Dang, that was dumb.
Oh, it's pretty far in, yeah.
Yeah, I explicitly changed it, then forgot that I changed it. Fun times. All right, so I guess I need to assign a leader regardless. I wonder if... Yeah, it might be worth doing some kind of setup where you can preview leaders even if they're not available yet, in the way that you can preview programs that you can't hire yet. But,
yeah, I think that would be reasonable.
Downside of that is that the same thing that blocks them because of they're retired or whatever, or they're tagged out, would be what blocks them because of their requirements block. So that's...
Theoretically, a cheat menu option, the lock and unlock leader categories when it makes sense. Same as you can do with Alt F12, though. You have to.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, that's what I thought. I definitely want to keep Glushko around for chief designer. So I just need to pick somebody who isn't Glushko for chief designer, for administrator. None of these people were really compelling. The efficiency gain thing is actually kind of nice. If the bulk of my costs are salary, then monetarily that makes sense.
Yeah, core level's pretty good.
I mean, yeah, I would say that the bulk of my expenses are salary. Not all of them. There's that expense.
All right. Fire all your shots if this is no plane's career.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part.
Maybe we should find a better way to do that, but it's
Yep.
the most effective thing for now.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, that almost doubled my monthly income. That's a real good point. All right, yeah, so let's go ahead. Okay, so we were at something like 2,000 a month. We are now at 2,200 a month. Didn't make that big a difference, but it made a difference. 10% increase in funding, basically. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, then the extra rep that it gives you is free, essentially.
Yes, that's true. Okay, let's launch a rocket. Okay. So let's see if I remember how to fly this. We want to start here. We'll have to throttle up. Away we go. Let's begin to go out to sea. We need at least 200 kilometers downrange, so we want a fair bit of curvature.
Probably too much curvature given.
I mean, as long as we get up to like 180 kilometers or something, I'll be happy.
Yeah, fair.
And we will. I mean, as long as we get up to 145, but that's interesting. Also, why is our apogee so low?
Is your engine shut down?
Yeah, but it shut down at 50 seconds.
I guess you were really pitching over.
Yeah. Oh, I still had a third, which meant I probably had half my delta V left.
More than half, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're still flying low, so no data. Well, at least we'll recover the camera. That will save us a little bit of money. Not an auspicious start to Korolev's administration. Or, that could happen.
Well, that's useful data too.
Yes.
Although I guess you just didn't separate because you were in the atmosphere.
Yeah, but when the chute came out, it should have popped things around.
I mean, you had several tons of rocket pushing down from behind still.
Fair.
But yeah, I mean, like, I guess it should have pushed it around.
Okay, well, guess we're building another one. See you in 115 days. At least our efficiency is going up real fast.
Yep. And here's another nice thing about PLC. Like, if you had been riding the line and hadn't been, like, keeping money in the bank for another contract, you would be screwed here. Whereas now you just kind of lose some time, but nothing else.
Yeah.
Well, I do like that a lot of the challenge of RP-1 comes from pushing yourself to go faster.
Yes, all of the challenge comes from pushing yourself to go faster. That's been my experience.
Okay, here we go again. Okay, maybe try a little less curvature this time. Shouldn't really matter either way.
Wasn't there some penalty for high max Q for failures on engines?
That's for ignition.
Right, only for ignition. Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, it's why the whack on bumper whack, the engine had like a little diaphragm cover over the nozzle.
Mm-hmm.
Such that when it lit at 1 atmosphere pressure. And then it blew out the covering.
Interesting. I didn't realize that was pressurized.
I mean, on bumper whack, like everything else was ground launched, so it didn't matter. Oh, I guess we're... Interesting that it didn't do this in the sim. Oh, geez.
I mean, you're high enough up that it shouldn't matter too much, but yeah, it looks like you're not going to reach your...
Yeah, it's fine.
safety.
I mean, it's fine because we're going to get flying high photography anyway.
Yeah, bad variance.
I'm wondering.
I mean, that rocket might be around somewhere for you to click and see its tank. There it is. Only 250 meters away.
Sorry, where are you seeing that?
It was up and to the right on where your current screen. It's past you in the on the trajectory. I saw the pink brackets.
Oh, okay.
So if you tilt your camera.
Oh no, but we're past 50 we're past 50 meters. So.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
We did get a speed record at least. Oh yeah, right. Time warp is the thing. Well, we're getting a lot of downrange.
The Milky Way flashing in the background. What's going on there?
Not as far as I can see. Mm.
It's probably because of the delay. I was probably looking at it like 30, staying at 30 seconds after it actually happened for you.
Oh, it might have been the PQS scaled space transition or something. That does weird stuff. All right, guess I'll warp a little more. There we go. Al, yeah, it's definitely Principia's rotation physics doing that. It's just when I was simulating this last night, I didn't have that much precession going on, so I was surprised to see it.
This is also either the gyroscopic effect or buggy.
Yeah, physics is bad for that. Okay. Now we should get a bunch of science. 5 science. Oh, cool. I forgot that I harmony patched that so that anything above the Karman line is suborbital.
Oh, that's a cool feature.
Yeah, I remember discussing that with you ages ago.
Yeah. Yeah, Kasimov did that for situations for pilots. If they went above 100 kilometers, they'd have another situation. But yeah, then I had to harmony patch. Like there's stuff that I wanted to do in Kerbalism, but yeah, Marsh, that's entirely possible. I might not have been sufficiently surface prograde aligned in this case, or spun up at a different amount or something. Man, I can't remember what I was going to patch in Kerbalism about that. All right, let's see what else we've got. Low space film return. 150 kilometers with a film camera. Downrange distance of 400 kilometers. I'm not sure we have the performance of that. Interesting. I'm really not sure. I don't think we do. Well, I only have to get to 150 kilometers, so it's probably just...
Well, you probably hit close to 400 kilometers on this latest launch. If you managed to get the 150 apogee, you would have gotten the 400 downrange.
Yeah.
I think I've been able to do that contract with a normal V2 style rocket, so without extra tech, I think, so should be possible.
Yeah, I also can just do an RD-101 engine upgrade on it too. Given that I researched a rocketry node that I maybe shouldn't have. Oh, that's interesting. They have a different propellant mix? Oh, because this has... Yeah, it uses 90% ethanol.
Come on, it's Soviet. They just improved the vodka.
Alright, so that needs tank stretch to take advantage. Rated burn time 85 seconds. Alright, so it needs a heck of a tank stretch. Alright, and I'm going to have to renovate the launch complex as well when I put a second stage on this, because I'm already borderline too heavy. That is, however, another almost 300 meters per second of delta V. Yeah, what I really want to do is upgrade the tank tech. but we're not going to have access to that for a bit. I mean, Marsh, if you look over here, we're still under 18 tons. That's why I stopped there. Remember, this number is a lie, because it includes the ground support equipment. This number is the actual honest number.
I guess in retrospect, it might have been good to research material science first, since that does unlock leaders, while early rock tree does not.
Yeah, I was actually, ironically, I was actually originally going to research the one that gave me the biocapsule, which I'm currently researching, but because the material science is like a 3-pointer node, I think, rather than a 1 or a 2-pointer. So it definitely take a while. But yeah, I think that's the one after this that I'm researching.
I think overall balance there is not a single best first node.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'd be very surprised if there were a single best first node. It means we've done our job wrong. Oh, 14 kilograms overweight. Well, I can just not overburn it, maybe. Meanwhile, I'm just going to save this. And see if we can do this with what we've got. Okay, so we're going to get the biocapsule real soon. Which I think means
I'm gonna mute myself for a little bit.
okay. Okay, there's those upgrades. There's more science, which we will eventually need. Definitely going to need these at some point, but man, 8 science, that'll take forever. I think I actually want that next, because that'll maybe let me finish the program. And then I'll save up for... This gives AL2. Yeah. Yeah, I have to think about how I'm going to do my downrange milestone. Yeah, I think I want to go here before I get better avionics. Okay. Let's briefly look at the options here. We need downrange milestones. And over here, yeah, so this can be completed pretty soon. So that's cool. Okay. Yeah, that all should be fine. All right, so let's go ahead and invest in our bigger, better rocket. Cheap tooling. What do you mean it? Oh, right. Right. Yes, of course. Okay, it will take 23 days to add support for the extra liquid oxygen and ethanol. Because it's a different type of ethanol, so we don't have any tankage at all. That's why it's going to take so long. I wish... Why isn't this thing sizing snapping? Let me just jot that down. Okay. 8% commonality. We'll lose some efficiency too. That kind of sucks. All right, so we will do that once the launch complex is ready. Oh, Squirrel, that's an interesting point about it maybe matching the resources window. Okay, so we'll lose a couple days of build. Yeah, because we have to roll this out. Yeah, so we'll lose 5 days of build, but but that's okay. All right, let's see if we can get above 150 and 400 kilometers downrange. Here we go. I think I want something like 55 degrees. Maybe even 50. Let's try 50. All right, we converged to 53, and we're going to end up a little under 50, but that'll be fine. Yeah, we'll end up at 45, I guess. Might have gone a little under, actually. Let's spin up. Yep, we went under. Let's try again. I guess, should use the classic ascent so that I have reproducible results. But or we could do that. Scroll, yeah, it's fairly ironic that two of the major, like, amateur-ish rocket fuels are ethanol and something sugar-based. Like, what is it called? Like cotton candy fuel or something?
It's sugar rockets.
Yeah. Good call. Okay. That's pretty much on the money. Nope. Except we tumbled, so we went under 150. Guess I shouldn't have spun up. That sucks. Guess I should have decoupled everything instantly. Although, with the higher ballistic coefficient, with the lower ballistic coefficient, it might have been even worse.
Oh, it was just so close.
Yep. Well, at least I mostly know the ascent profile now. Let's see what downrange we end up with.
Yeah, I mean, this will get decent science.
Yeah, this one I'm going to fly again, though. Because I'm basically counting these as sims to figure out what flight profile I should use. We might not hit 400 either. Oh yeah, I guess maybe we will. Be a little tight, but yeah, I'd call that pretty tight. So yeah, we're right on the ragged edge of this thing's capabilities. Guess I should have simmed it before just assuming we could do this. Because might be that in practice, it just won't quite work.
Are you going to try it without spinning up this time?
Yep. Don't think it'll make a huge difference.
Lost a fair amount of apogee from tumbling, though.
Yeah, but my point is that I'm still going to tumble.
Oh.
Oops, I think I wasn't aggressive enough in my initial pitch over. Really need a way to make this more easily repeatable. All right, let's try the whole not tumbling thing. See if we actually can do that. Huh. I was too aggressive. I thought I wasn't aggressive enough. What the heck? That's weird. I'm seriously tempted to make like PVG's pitch program fly this somehow.
Isn't there a thing in one of the panelists, one of the RP-1 chats that is how you do that?
Oh, yeah, probably. Oh, right, it's the new PVG, so maybe there's actually a way to do that with the new PVG fairly easily.
Really, it's not with PVG, it's the classic ascent guides.
Oh, yeah, no, that one I
Almost.
know how to do. It's just that one has real bad angle of attack losses. Which I guess I could prevent with, like, tight Q alpha constraints. But yeah, I mean, that's what I was talking about before with making classic ascent do it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the traditional way. It's just that the path it flies is not really what I think we want for this. Oh, okay. I don't think I pitched over enough this time. So we might not get enough downrange out of this. Yeah, we probably won't get enough downrange out of this. Yeah, C-Max, we just tumble regardless.
I mean, you could give yourself a little bit more fin, I suppose.
Yep. Well, let's see what downrange we get to near apogee. Okay, I think we'll make it. Just barely. Maybe we'll be at like 380 when we stop moving horizontal. That's gonna suck.
Like you'll make it.
It's gonna be real tight.
Yeah.
Not quite as tight as I thought. We'll have a good 20 kilometers to spare. Okay. And down we go. Okay. Here we go. Man, it makes a big difference when we're not spinning wildly. We actually flip right side up. Okay. Success. Come on. There we go. That took a little fiddling. Okay, another suborbital flight gave us almost a full point of science. This gave us even more science. We've got a lot of science, because we also transmitted a bunch of science from space, from telemetry analysis, the barometer, and barometer. Okay, so now we can get the big ticket item, early material science, which will take forever to research. And we can clear out our set of completed contracts and go ahead and modify that launch complex. And given that we're going to be, how tall is this thing anyway? 16 meters. All right. Given that we have to reconstruct our launch complex anyway, what if we just extended it the whole way? All right. That's going to need a new tooling, though, isn't it? Yes, it is. Yeah, so I wasted 1,000 funds by tooling it wrong. Good thing this is programs. All right. So.
We're also going to need even bigger fins.
Yes, you're right. You're right, I am.
Because you made the lever arm even longer.
Yes. On the other hand, the delta V is higher, so we'll reach burnout higher up in the atmosphere, so on balance it should even out. Because we have 20 more seconds of burn time. So we'll probably be like 20 or 30 kilometers, and also more delta V. So we'll probably be like 20, 30 kilometers higher. Okay, dynamic pressure will be rather lower. But we can extend the fins a little bit.
I mean, there was a reason the Germans put lead ballast in the
Yes.
V2.
Yes. Yes, these things tend to need about, 800 kilograms of something up top. All right, it's 18 tons. 22 tons. Commonality is down to 50%. That's brutal. Although we don't actually lose that much efficiency. 26 versus 22. Because that's the floor anyway. All right. And it costs us another 15 days to increase the tonnage limit as well. While I'm here, though, I think what I want to do is support I wonder. Okay, we have access to this thing. Okay, what is the, let's see what the burn time on that is. And the rated burn time is what, 1 minute? Yeah, 1 minute. Okay, so actually, we might, yeah, this will be fine. So let's go ahead and do it this way. All right, so my 22-ton estimate was reasonable. And it's basically free to add those resources. So that's cool.
Nice.
So let's go ahead and renovate. Okay. And that's queued up. So when that's done, we can actually start building the new launch vehicle, put a biosample on it, do all sorts of stuff. Do our downrange milestone with it, because we now support having that second stage. And this one wants sounding payload. That's what I was worried about, but we have plenty of capability. Good thing we're upgrading. Okay, I think that's a pretty good place to stop. So, November, Maximal, thank you for joining. Everybody, thank you for watching.
Having me.
We'll catch you next time.
All right, bye.